And it's September 1st. It's our team call, first Thursday of the month. And we're another day closer to fall. I'm excited about that. So approaching the Labor Day weekend, glad you guys joined us. My name is Dee Corchin, and I am going to be handing off this call to Julie Apple. She is an executive director, and she is really leading the health movement in the Charlotte area and beyond. So super excited. She's the executive director with Take Shape for Life, just helping a lot of people reach their goals. So Julie, I will unmute you and you can just take it away and lead the group on our topic for tonight.
Sounds good. Hey guys. So I'm sure most of you guys got to see at least maybe something in our Facebook group about the topic tonight. I feel like it's a interesting topic because a lot of clients I know that I have been helping, wine is one of the things that they're used to. That's a regular part of the staple of their evenings or whatever. Water maybe not quite as a regular part of your habits yet. So I wanted to kind of start with the good news first and talk about water and the benefits of the water. And then I thought we could jump in, and one of my clients, Gay, is going to be sharing about how her habits have completely changed since she started the program, and the alcohol, how that's changed. And then Yvette, another one of my clients in Charlotte, is going to share about water, how her life has changed drinking more water. So I'll bring them on in just a second to share, but I wanted to start with saying some of the things that have worked for me. And being a trainer, I feel like people think somehow I'm like above and I don't have to make the same decisions and I don't have the same choices, but I really do have to make the same decisions when I'm eating out and things like that. So I thought I'd kind of fill you in on some of the things I do day to day that help me. And one of the things that has been a huge help for me is keeping a water bottle handy. I have it right here, and it's called a Swell bottle. And I was telling Gay, one of my clients, about it yesterday. And I always have it everywhere when I teach class, when I train clients. This bottle is kind of like, if you see Julie, you see my Swell bottle. And that has been a huge help. It's about 25 ounces, and I keep that full. And my goal is to get through at least 5 or 6 of those every single day. So one of the tips I have for everybody is find a water bottle, and this sounds silly, but find a water bottle that you love. Because if it's something that you're going to drink from and it doesn't sweat, it keeps your water cold, it helps you want to drink water, it's like a mind game. And it sounds silly, but it will make you drink more if you find a water bottle that you like. So I was telling Gay yesterday, on Swell's website, you can find any style water bottle, any colors, any patterns, you name it. So find a personalized bottle that you enjoy, that's yours, and you will drink more water, I promise you. So if you're struggling to drink water, go buy a Swell bottle. It's worth the investment. That's one tip. The second tip is, when you eat out, if you like to drink alcohol and you're trying to change that habit, one of the things that I do when we eat out, as soon as we sit down, usually the server comes up to you and they're like, well, what can I get you to drink? I will immediately order water with lemon. And then all my friends are kind of, picking out their drinks and alcoholic, whatever they're going to choose. And I'll usually say right off the bat, let me look at the menu and I'll order in a minute. 5 minutes go by, the server comes back, and I'm like, sometimes they forget to ask. Sometimes if they ask, I'm like, I'm not sure yet. So I don't even order anything. By the end of the meal, we've gone, eaten, I never even ordered anything. So I try to just let it stay under the table. Nobody really knows. And then I just don't order anything, just stick to my water. So that's what helps me, is just kind of not even ordering anything and just letting the server come back, and then we order our food. So those are a couple of the tips for you guys. Yvette, I would love for you to share, if we can unmute you. Yvette is here in Charlotte. She's a coach as well, and helping a lot of people at her office where she works. She's already lost about 50 pounds just since the early part of the year. So she's rocking. And will you share some of the things we talked about, Yvette, like how you drink more water and some of the benefits you've experienced?
Okay, sure. I would love to. And thank you for having me. Like she said, my name is Yvette, and I've always drank water, but I've noticed that the more water I drink, the better I do with eating healthier and not overeating. So what I do is I'm on the 5-in-1 plan. And what I do is I eat at 7:30 in the morning, 10:30, 1:30, 4:30, 7:30, and then my snack at night usually varies. But I do have a water bottle, and like Julie says, you have to get a water bottle. It kind of sounds funny that you're comfortable with. And I unfortunately leave my water bottles around the office, so I don't want to spend money on different water bottles every other week because I'm looking for them. So I do have a regular water bottle, and it's 16.9 ounces. And what I do is I drink that. I try to make sure I at least drink that full bottle before it's time for me to eat. So before 10:30, I already have over a bottle down. By 1:30, I have another bottle down. And you wouldn't believe just how full you'll get just from drinking your water, because you are, you're putting something in your stomach, and it's not craving. It's not craving something. Sometimes it's really hard for your mind to tell you whether it's thirsty or whether it's hungry. And
Exactly.
most of the time, you're usually thirsty. It's not that you're hungry. It's just that your body needs some fluids. So drinking that water, on those times, at least I know, okay, 10:30, I'm running a little bit behind. I got to finish my water bottle. Yes, I do go to the bathroom a little bit more often, but it's worth it in the long run. And some of the benefits I have seen is definitely the weight loss. I know when I cut down, I was telling Julie one time, I'm hungry. I don't, I'm hungry. The food isn't filling me up. And she's like, are you sticking to your water? And I had to think back and say, well, no, not really. So that's when I came up with the plan to drink, to make sure I at least drink the one bottle before my alarm clock goes off. I have my alarm on my phone set for the 10:30 to 1:30. And that way I know before that alarm goes off, I want to have my water finished. And I know that the weight loss is definitely a benefit of it. And my skin's a lot clearer. I don't break out. I don't have the dry skin. And sometimes you really don't notice that your skin is dehydrated. I know I treated myself to a facial like 2 weeks ago, and I was running around so much for like 2 days that I did get behind on my water, and that was the first thing she noticed. And she looked at my skin and she goes, do you drink a lot of water? And I said, not the last couple of days. She goes, because your skin's dehydrated. I didn't see a difference, but she definitely did. And even on my card, the little skincare, little things that they give you, different little things to, wash and, exfoliate. The thing that she wrote in big letters was drink plenty of water, because it's so good for your skin, replenishing your body, just, clearing out. It's a natural flush. It flushes out your system. It gets all those toxins out. And I really, truly believe that the more water I drink and I stay on it, the better I do with my eating, and the better I do with just my skin, the way it looks and feels. So it does.
So true.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's good. Awesome. Thank you, Vet.
You're welcome.
A couple things I had written down just to recap, because the skin is a huge one, but also when I was looking up water, some of the benefits, it boosts your metabolism, which is a huge benefit. And that's why we see more weight loss. So if you're paying attention, I can guarantee if you drink more water and just make it a goal that this week you're going to just drink more water, that's the only thing you're going to improve on, you will see more weight loss next week. Because it boosts your metabolism, drinking more water. It also lubricates your joints. It helps improve your productivity because you're not dehydrated. In fact, when you're thirsty, you're already dehydrated. That's one of the things that Dr. A talks about in his book, is that if you're already thirsty, you're dehydrated. So you want to make sure you're drinking throughout the day. Also, it's a natural headache remedy. So a lot of times, like if I'm outside all day and I'm playing sports, playing volleyball, I'll come inside and I have a headache immediately. And right away, I'm like, I'm dehydrated. I need to go get more fluid. So if you're feeling a headache coming on, a lot of times it's because your body's dehydrated. So that's one other huge benefit of drinking water. And then, like Yvette said, it improves your skin and complexion. So those are just a few of the benefits of water. Most of you guys probably know a lot of this, but it's such a good reminder. And I would say next week, or starting tonight, starting tomorrow, just make it a goal. Drink one more bottle of water. And I always tell my clients too, start small. Don't try to take on this huge goal. Just start with, this week, I'm going to drink one extra bottle of water each day. And then the next week, try to drink 2 more bottles of water a day. So you're just slowly working up, and it becomes a whole lot more feasible to do that. So anybody want to pipe in or anything that they've experienced benefits of the water? Anybody want to share anything before we move to the alcohol topic? If not, I wanted Gay to share tonight, because when Gay and I got to talking, she comes to my classes where I teach here in Charlotte. And I remember the very first conversation we had, we talked about alcohol and how often she drinks and her usual like habits with her husband drinking wine at night together. And now Gay is completely different habits, and she has dropped, I think, around 20 pounds just over the summer. And you guys, her body fat is like in the low 20s. So you can't see her face on this call tonight. She's only calling in, but I can tell you she is totally transformed over the summer. And I'll let Gay share for a minute if we can unmute her. There you go, Gay. The floor's all yours.
Oh, thanks. Well, the wine goes along with water, in my opinion. My husband works, and we would sit out at night after dinner and have a glass of wine, probably 3 or 4 times a week. And I thought that was all heart healthy and good for you, and didn't think much about it until my weight would creep up. Every time I'd have, dinner and a glass of wine and go to bed, I'd notice a weight gain. And it was small at first, and then it kind of kept creeping up. And, just didn't really notice that was much of a difference. And then when I started this Take Shape for Life, Julie was like, well, you really need to quit drinking the wine to go on the program. You need to kind of cut out all alcohol. And I did. And it was amazing, the difference. I replaced the wine with water, and I dropped 7 pounds in a week. And then that changed into, sitting outside with my husband, what could I do? If he wanted a glass of wine and I didn't, but, I was trying to stay off the wine, I learned to drink other things. Like I fell in love with hot tea. I tried all sorts of different hot teas. I tried LaCroix, water. I would change all sorts of different fruits in not fruits, but like a slice of lemon or lime in my drink, in my water. And I found that if I drank a lot of water and tried to have like a glass of wine, I would still put on a tad bit of weight, just a 0.2 maybe the next day. So I just learned to just change my habits by just changing up what I would even put it in a wine glass actually and sit out and drink it. So I would just change up maybe put it in a pretty glass and sat out with him. And pretty soon it became another habit. So I replaced one habit with another. And I know I'm kind of rambling, but anyway, but my point being that if I do have an occasional glass of wine, like if we go out for a special occasion, my anniversary is this week, then I drink a ton of water. I'll have 1 glass of wine and I drink a ton of water afterwards. But again, I just don't even really want it. And it's easy for me to say no. I think Julie has a really good idea of when the servers come and you just get water initially, putting it off. That seems to be a really good way to do it for me too. Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, it's not as hard as it seems.
What benefits have you experienced? Can you like tell things that are different for you when you don't drink alcohol?
I don't. It wasn't a huge glass. It wasn't like I was drinking every night. But I do think that you can tell like sleep patterns are better. And I think that, again, the weight loss, but you also are dehydrated. I believe that it dehydrates you, and I know it decreases your metabolism because, like I said, I think I told you, if I have 1 glass of wine, like I go through my whole day and do everything perfectly, and then I go, oh, I can have 1 glass of wine, that's fine. But I would have it, and then the next day I would see a weight gain, and I would feel sluggish. Yes. Once you purge yourself of all that stuff and you're eating healthy and you're hydrating yourself appropriately, then any little, then it just makes you feel different. It makes you feel sluggish. I wouldn't say irritable, but it makes you just don't feel as bright.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of thing I've noticed, maybe.
That's great. Thank you for sharing, Gay. That's helpful.
Thank you.
So those are a few things you can hear right from Gay, but as I was looking back and doing a little research too, some of the things that I noted about what alcohol does to your system is just what Gay said. It causes dehydration. It makes you want to eat more. So if I think one of the things that's coming, obviously the holidays are approaching, but one of the biggest things I'll notice for myself is the more you drink, the more you crave food and the more you eat. So you let your guard down. You may be out to dinner or whatever, and you have a glass of wine. Well, all of a sudden you're like, oh, well, let's order another appetizer. And so you start to this little cycle happens where you're drinking more and then you eat more and then you want to drink more. So it's this bad little cycle that you can fall into. So that's one of the dangers of having alcohol is your guard kind of comes down. So I just try not to even drink because then I don't have to worry. But if you're at a party, you just be aware of that and know okay, flush my system with a lot of water and don't drink as much. And be careful how much you want to eat. The other thing is on program, we all know it throws you out of fat burn. So one of the huge things that most people don't even know that's happening is it slows your metabolism behind the scenes. Your body actually burns off the alcohol instead of the food. So if you start to feel like your tummy is full or your tummy is growing or you feel like you're bloated, it's because of the alcohol. So your body the food sits in there while it burns off the alcohol. So it creates this weight gain because of the alcohol that you're putting in. So the more you learn, the more you start to look at a glass of wine or a beer, everything kind of takes on a different perspective because you're like, okay, all this hard work this week, is it really worth that glass of wine? So you start to look at it a little bit differently. And like Gay said, finding a substitute is a great trick and a great plan is having some other alternative. And I think the biggest thing is just being educated and taking the time to learn, okay, what should I be doing, and being self-aware. And like Gay said, when she weighs in or when she drinks, she realizes the change on the scale. So I would challenge you this week to start paying attention. Like if you have a glass of wine on Saturday, let's say, weigh in on Sunday and just see what it does on the scale. Because once you start to become educated and you see that, it will probably take on a different perspective for you, and you'll realize it's not really worth it. I'll just drink more water. So hopefully that gives you guys some tips and some helpful ideas. Does anybody have any feedback before we turn it over to Dee to kind of wrap us up? Nobody else? Debbie.
Good. Go ahead, Debbie. Oh.
I think I did myself just at the same time you did. So what I was going to say is I really like to make a big thing of water and throw sliced cucumber or something like that in my fridge, and then I just drink from that big container all day long. And you're getting the benefit of drinking yummy water and whatever B vitamins or whatever you get from your cucumber. But it's really, that's kind of a nice, that makes you want to drink more because you are enjoying the flavor so much of your, whether you put fruit or whatever in your water.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Is it one of the things I always tell clients too is think about a gallon, fill up a gallon milk jug or buy a gallon pitcher, glass pitcher, and fill that up every morning. And your goal is to get through that whole gallon in the day. Mm-hmm. 1 gallon seems like a lot, but if you take it, like Yvette said, a little bit every hour, every couple hours, all of a sudden you've drank the whole gallon throughout the day. Is your pitcher, do you have it measured out? Do you know?
No, it's bigger than that. I don't drink an entire, I would probably throw my electrolytes up if I drank that whole big pitcher.
Okay,
but
cool.
I do drink from it all day.
That's great. Good idea. I also have a client who has this cool water bottle, and I don't know if you guys have seen it on Pinterest, but it tells you at 8 o'clock, this is how much water you should drink. By 10 o'clock, you should have gotten to this line. So you can find it on Pinterest. If you guys go look at the water bottles that, show the time and how much you should drink, that's helpful too. So you can even buy those water bottles or just draw it on your put it with a Sharpie on your plastic water bottle. But that's helpful too. Another tip.
Yeah, that was so good, Julie. I loved I loved what you shared. I mean, what I heard so much was, especially with the water drinking, just being intentional, whether it's finding that vessel that you like, that's good for, that will help you keep track of and monitor those incremental steps to increase that you described. And what Yvette said about, actually kind of having a plan that she knows, okay, by 1:30, I should have finished X amount, or setting a timer. Because it really is just a new habit that we have to create. And just like you said, when it's almost, predictable that when I'll talk to a client and their weight has stalled or is a very minimal decrease and they have adhered to the plan itself from an eating perspective, the question always becomes, well, how'd you do with your water? And the response is almost always, you know what? I have slipped up on my water, or we were traveling last week, so I didn't drink much because I didn't want to have to, stop while we were driving. So there is definitely a direct correlation with that. And I don't really know the science behind it, but Nutrition Support had shared at one point that, especially because we're a fat burning plan, that we definitely want to be drinking and flushing all of that out of our system. So that was good. And then, the wine, the alcohol, I think that again is probably one of the most common things as coaches that we work with our clients with, because it's just so mainstream these days and so habitual what we do and associate with, happiness or celebrations, and just creating, it just becomes that choice again. What do you really want more? And like Gay was saying, when she saw the scale go down 7 pounds, well, then she decided, I think I like that better than the glass of wine at this moment. And it doesn't mean you'll never have it, but especially during the weight loss process, it's something to really consider. So, well, thank you so much. We'll be doing our next call on Thursday, September 15th. And if you've got topic ideas, things that are on your mind, we would love to. That's the goal of these, is to talk about what's important to you. So feel free to share those with your coach or post them on our Eat, Live, and Be Healthy wall, and we'll definitely work that into the schedule. A couple of things for you guys to save the date besides that phone call coming up. Monday, September 12th is the next round of the fall health. It's the fall health games. And this is an optional tool that we offer for clients that want to participate. The nice thing is it will follow right on the heels of the focus group for you guys that have been participating in that. That's an online challenge that's done on a separate platform. So we'll be posting some information about that, and feel free to talk to your coach about it. It can be a lot of fun and another way to put another layer of accountability and support. And the final thing is, please mark your calendar and save the date for Saturday, September 17th. This is National Optimal Health Day, and it is something that we at Take Shape for Life take very seriously, because we just know the importance of helping people create optimal health. And I just want to celebrate that what you guys are doing, and bring others to join us. So if you live in the Atlanta area, we did a hike back in August. A lot of people did it, enjoyed it. A lot of people said they wish they could have joined. So our activity to celebrate National Optimal Health Day is going to be a hike at the Roswell Mill. We're going to be meeting at 9:30 a.m. and we will post more details about that. Julie is going to spearhead a celebration out in the Charlotte area at the Whitewater Adventure Center in the afternoon, probably around 3 o'clock. Okay, so we'll get you more details on that. And if you don't live in our area, touch base with your coach, because there are a lot of events going on around the U.S., so we can probably hook you up with something in your area. And if you are going to be participating, bring a friend, invite somebody into our world. We would love to help more people get healthy. So I think that's all we've got for tonight. You guys have a great Labor Day weekend, and we'll see you on our Eat, Live, and Be Healthy Facebook page. See you soon.
Thanks again for sharing, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Julie. Thanks, everybody.